Okay, so this is a follow-up video, and I've been meaning to do it for about 3 months. This is the 1 year later on the red copper slash Gotham Steel slash yada yada yada, various iterations of this particular item. The big thing, obviously, is to see how well it turned out a year later. If you look there, you'll notice a bit of damage. If you were to stop right there in the video, you'll see little pock marks, basically where the copper has worn off, and it didn't really wear off. It wasn't scratching. I attribute it mostly to me dropping forks and heavier items on top of it in the sink, me being careless. The back end, same deal, smacking against other pots and pans. But there are no real scratches on there. There's just a couple little dings in it. That's about it. So it helped pretty well after a year of basically daily use multiple times a day. So the basic test for this is cooking an egg. Can it handle cooking an egg without sticking? Eggs will stick easily. I didn't want to do the sugar test because I didn't want the smell of burnt sugar in my whole house, so I didn't do that. But the egg I can handle a little easier. So we watched this real fast. It sped up a little bit, but not much, just to kind of see what's going on. You'll notice right off the bat, there's no greasing, nothing. This is just a fresh seasoning having been done, and you season the pan by coating it with a little vegetable oil, followed by heating it for 20 minutes at 300 degrees Fahrenheit. Then after that, you let it cool down. This is after this thing washed with Dawn. There's no grease left on it. This thing was bone dry, and this is what it's doing. So you already see the egg remains kind of peeling up off as it cooks. Now what I would say about this is the key is letting it cook. I don't know how well this would work with scrambled eggs, although it has worked in the past very well. But it's got to get cooked. If there's anything wet on there, it'll basically re-adhere the second something wet touches it. But then once that recooks again, it'll peel off again. And this is, again, absolutely no greasing of any kind. The only thing that's going to keep this egg from moving around or moving around more is the actual whatever grease is actually in the egg if the yolk were popped. So you're seeing the egg albumin or the egg whites peeling up. They bubble around. They're not like, there's no burning happening here. It's on medium-high heat. So far it's looking pretty normal. The big test obviously is just taking a look at it. It doesn't really want to stick. It's dried on the bottom. It's doing a pretty good job. And again, this is a year later. This is not a brand new pan. This is just freshly seasoned the way they tell you to do about every 6 months. So let's see what this thing does. Bam. And that's all there is to it. It was fairly simple, just cooking an egg, and it did a good job with it. Egg tasted great, by the way. I had two, because I'm going to show you another section of the video, which is actually using a greaser, which is basically just being Pam. But we're going to see what, if any, kind of remains are left over after this thing has actually finished cooking. Alright, so now the egg is out of the pan, and we're going to see what it looks like. Looks like a normal egg's over easy, really easy to do. But look, the pan's got a little bit of egg on it, so it's still stuck a tiny, tiny bit. But the question is, after I get this thing in focus, because my camera is crap, there we go. There we go, stupid. Alright. Will it just stick on there? Will it be burned into a crisp on there? Will it have to be soaked for an hour before you can even think about taking a sponge to it to get this stuff off of there? Or will it clean relatively easily? The key is to making sure it cleans easily is simply letting it cook. Letting it cook on there a little bit until, bam, it just pops right off. Quick slide with a silicone spatula, no metal required, and it slid right off. And again, this pan's a year old. It's used on average at least twice a day. At least twice a day, whether it's for breakfast and dinner, or if you're like me and you're home for a weekend, 3 meals a day or more if I need a snack. It's heavily, heavily used. Now here's the same exact pan, same situation. I just cleaned it, used Dawn. It's bone dry again, but this time we're gonna use Pam. We're gonna see what it looks like when you use Pam. How much does it take? That much Pam, pretty easy. Okay, so we got the Pam, we got the egg on there. It's sizzling now, obviously, because now there is oil on the pan, so there's more sizzle, it's more cooking happening, a little more active than just with naked pan, no grease of any kind. Now let's see what it looks like when we start moving that pan around a little bit. You'll notice it does not want to stick. You get to see Newton's law in action. All objects in motion tend to stay in motion. Objects tend to stay at rest. So check this out real fast. It should be just any second now. You can tell I didn't plan this video well. There we go. Moves all around. No sticking whatsoever. So if you were to heavily grease a stainless steel pan of high quality, like good quality stainless steel, it would do something similar. If you're using a Teflon pan, something similar, or any ceramic pan, it will do the same thing. But this is, again, after a year of use. This is a year of heavy use, whether it's stir fries, metal cookware, along metal utensils, chicken, steak, every single thing you can think of I cooked in this stupid pan. It's been ridiculous. And boom, flip it over and it's good to go. It was super duper easy. And again, the seasoning process is probably the biggest pain in the butt factor for this pan, but you only got to do it like once every 4 to 6 months. And again, all you got to do is put a light coating of vegetable oil. In this case, I actually used Pam. I just did a heavy spraying of Pam over top of it because that's canola oil, which is what I would have used anyway. And from there, you put it in the oven, preheated 300 degrees for 20 minutes. You pull it out, let it cool, clean it like you would normally, and it's seasoned. It's good to go. And guys, I hope you like this video. If you appreciate what I did showing you a year later what this pan can still do, give me a like button or share the video just to show what it does. And have a great day, guys.